Good afternoon to everyone. Today, in our Dhamma talk, we are going to talk about the hindrances, not only during the meditation, but also during the daily life. It's really important to understand that the hindrances are not bad, but they are an essential part of our practice. Like Bhante Bimalaramsi said, a hindrance is a great opportunity to let go our attachment, and we have some advantage because when the hindrance arise, we can recognize where our mind is attached. So through right effort, through the 6 R's, we can recognize the hindrance. So at this point, we recover our mindfulness, then we release it, we stop thinking about it, we relax the mind, the body, and the head, we smile, we return to our object of meditation, and we repeat the process of stay with the object of meditation. So every talk about the hindrance has the main topic of talk about right effort and the noble path. So I will share with you the screen. Okay. Monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to the sense desire like the feature of attractiveness. Also, I do not see a single thing when sense desire has arisen that makes it increase and grow like the feature of attractiveness. When you attend unwisely to the feature of attractiveness, sense desire arises, and once arising, it increases and grows. Well, we have 5 hindrances traditionally: sensual desire, ill will or aversion, doubt, anxiety or restlessness, and sloth and torpor or drowsiness. These suttas will show us what is a hindrance, what is the condition for that hindrance arises, and what are the remedy or the counterpart of these hindrances. So the first one, sensual desire, the condition for that to arise is the feature of attractiveness. This is the same condition for the sensual desire arise and to grow and increase one when the mind already has sensual desire, it will grow because this feature of attractiveness. So what it means by attractiveness? The present experience, Vedana, could be painful, pleasure, or neither painful nor pleasure. In this case, sensual desire has a pleasure as a condition because we want to feel over and over again a pleasure feeling. That is the cause that we feel attracted by the sensory data. So there is no issue if I saw a beautiful sight. But when my mind starts to think about it and want to relive again that first sight, this is the condition to arise this attractiveness. So when we lose our mindfulness, this feature of attractiveness has the condition to arise in our mind, and this bring that the mind start to being obsessed by this sensual desire of the sight. It arises in each of the sense doors. Could be a beautiful song, a beautiful taste, uh, uh, a scent that is pleasant to our mind, or a beautiful thought. So when we lose our mindful, this feature of attractiveness will arise. But when we apply 6 hours, we can regain and make stronger our mindfulness, and we can return to our object of meditation. The second sutta, monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to the ill will like recollecting the root cause. Also, I do not see a single thing, when it has arisen that make it increase and grow like recollecting the root cause. When you recollect the root cause, ill will arises, and once arising, it increases and grows. So in this second case, the condition to ill will arises is the other side of the coin that the sensual desire. It's an experience, a present experience that we don't want to feel anymore, and this arise the reaction to ill will. I don't like it. The first one, sensual desire, I like it. This one, I don't like it. These two aspects, and the third one, I am that, is the three phases of craving. In this case, the aversion is the reaction to something, to some Vedana, some present experience that is painful. So as we can see, the Vedana itself is not something bad or good. We just can perceive that the Vedana could be pleasant, unpleasant, or neither pleasant nor unpleasant. But the reaction to that Vedana is that we start to bring us in our mind suffering. We treat this obstacle, this hindrance, in the same way. I recognize my aversion, I just let it go, I relax, I re-smile, and then I back to my object of meditation and continue with that object of meditation as long as I can. The third one is, monks, I do not see anything that gives rise to sleepiness and dullness like the dislike of the Dhamma path, slothfulness, yawning, dullness after eating, and mental sluggishness. Monks, when you have a sluggish mind, sleepiness and dullness arise, and when arising, they increase and grow. In this case, the Buddha is describing, first of all, sleepiness and dullness, and the condition are the dislike of Dhamma path. What does this mean? The dislike of Dhamma path is, first of all, could mean that we don't have enough interest in the Dhamma path, enough interest in the following the precept, or enough interest in our meditation object, and this suck it up the energy of our mind. This lack of interest is what is bringing this slothfulness or sluggishness. It's also when we eating a lot, maybe this can bring some kind of sluggishness and drowsiness. So if we want to let it go, this dullness, we have to recognize first that the dullness brings some kind of stiffness in our mind. That is this very important to recognize. And then we let it go, that stiffness, we relax, and then with the smile we bring some energy to our mind, we bring our interest to our object of meditation. It's very important, the word interest, because interest means that I want to stay with an object of meditation with joy, with energy. If like someone asks me to make a plan, that I feel happy about it. And it's not about to put more pressure on the object of meditation, but be happy about, be happy in the fact that we are with our object of meditation, that is that we are in a very good state of mind. Other remedy for the sluggishness could be walk, do the walking meditation. Uh, another another remedy could be open the eyes during the meditation and see the light, not the light directly, but see some rays light. And if you are with your open eyes, maybe a couple of minutes or 10 minutes, maybe the energy grows and you will recover the mindfulness on your object of meditation. If nothing of these advice is working, you have to go and take a little nap, and maybe with after the nap, maybe your mind would be or will be more energetic, and you can return to your object of meditation, to meditation itself. Then we have monks. I do not see a single thing that gives rise to restlessness and remorse like the unsettled mind. Also, I do not see a single thing that restlessness and remorse have arisen that makes them increase and grow, like an unsettled mind. When the mind is not settled, restlessness and remorse, and once arising, they increase and grow. Well, it's very open, this statement of the Buddha, but restlessness and remorse has as condition an unsettled mind. This unsettled mind or unstable mind, this instability of the mind, is, we have to be very patient with restlessness, because it's a hindrance that we stayed with us with a long time in our training. So one of the things that brings an unsettled mind is do not follow the precept. So it's really important that we follow the precept, because this make the mind more stable, more settled, and happy. And this aren't the condition to remorse arises. The other thing that maybe sometimes brings restlessness is when we are with an obsession regarding a plan or planning. This is very important. When we have a plan, it's enough to think about this plan one time, not to overthinking. Every time that we try to overthink in a plan or an activity, there is the condition, because the mind is unsettled, to restlessness and remorse arise. So we have to, this training give us the possibility to start to understand the power of the intention. If we have one intention, that is enough. We don't have to make over and over again an intention, because the mind will start to feel restlessness. The next one, monks, I do not see a single thing that gives rise to doubt like unwise attention. Also, I do not see a single thing when it has arisen that makes it increase and grow, like unwise attention. When you attend unwisely, doubt arises, and once arising, it increases and grows. Well, the last one is very important because doubt, here the Buddha statement is regarding to unwise attention. What is the mean unwise attention? In Pali, unwise attention is ayoniso manasikara. So the mind is try to make contact with some state of mind or thoughts that bring us pain and suffering. Sometimes when some people reflecting on their own acts or their own words start to try to explain themselves why they do, what they did. And this is some wise attention because the reflection is not about the act itself, but why I I do or I did that, or it's a start to bring the ideas of I, mine, or myself. And this brings a lot of restlessness and of course a lot of doubt because there is going to be the ground for I am a good person, I am a bad person, I'm practicing well, I'm practicing bad. All this kind of doubt uh, is very painful for the mind and bring a lot of confusion. Regarding the meditation training itself, we only have, as a meditators, two jobs. The first is stay with our object of meditation, and the second one is just apply the 6 R's or right effort. Then we have to let it go the outcome of our meditation. This is because this is not our meditation. It's just a meditation. We're just meditating at that time. But we cannot claim ownership over the meditation. So if we have a gentle attitude towards the object of meditation, if we, when some hindrance arises, we apply the 6 R's, that is all our job. We don't have to push ourselves more. We don't have to search for explanations. We have to just be with the action of meditation itself. So this will bring us more tranquility and more certainty about what is the meditation itself. The next one is monks do not see, a single thing that prevents sense desire from arising, like the feature of unattractiveness. Also, I do not see a single thing when sense desire has arisen that causes it to be abandoned, like the feature of unattractiveness. When you attend wisely to the feature of unattractiveness, sense desires does not arise, or if it has already arisen, it's removed completely. Well, here is the first remedy for the sensual desire. What is the meaning of feature of unattractiveness? How can we bring to our mind the unattractiveness thing? We have to remember, first of all, and when I said remember is recover our mindfulness, and mindfulness is remember to observe how mind attention moves from one thing to another. This definition, that is the definition that gave us Bhante Vimalaransi, is really precise and have a lot of accuracy. Mindfulness is remember. When I remember, my mindfulness starts to grow again. What I have to remember, that the minds move. This means that anything that happens in the mind is unstable and impermanent. So a sensual desire is impermanent, and that is the cause of unattractiveness. When we feel that we are attracted by some sensory data, we want to that stimuli. We want to being permanent. But when we recognize or when we remember that is impermanent, and because of that, suffering is very near, and that process is impersonal. This helps us to remove this attractiveness and start mindful. This is really important because, like I said before, when we enjoy a meal or a tasty food, there is no problem with that. But when we finished that meal, if we don't overthinking about it, if we don't try to make permanent that experience, we are going to feel free of our craving and our clinging. So if we can recognize this process, this feature of unattractiveness will be more able to our mind. So it's not about to be aversive to sensory data, but to be aware that all sensory data is impermanent. And for that, will bring us dukkha if we want to desire that sensory data will be permanent, and of course is a process that is impersonal. The next one, monks, I do not see a single thing that prevents ill will from arising like loving kindness. Also, I do not see a single thing when ill will has arisen that causes it to be abandoned like loving kindness. When you attend wisely on the thought of loving kindness, ill will does not arise, or if it has already arisen, it's removed completely. Well, we practice with the Brahma Viharas, and metta or loving kindness is the first of these Brahma Viharas. So when our mind is imbued with loving kindness, we feel happy, we feel stable, we feel open, we feel a space in our mind. So with that mindset, it's really difficult for ill will to arise. In fact, if we are with loving kindness in our mind, it's very difficult for any of these hindrances has have the condition to arise. So when we feel gently with ourselves, when we feel caring of ourselves, and we don't push ourselves hard, because when we push ourselves hard, we start to give the condition for ill will arise, because at that point we feel some sort of insatisfaction, and then we have to try to push ourselves sometimes very hard, and this is some kind of we are mistreating us. So we have to let it go that through the 6 R's and return to loving kindness. The next one, monks, I do not see anything that prevents sleepiness and dullness from arising like the energy of initiative, persistence, and firm determination. Also, I did not see anything when sleepiness and dullness have arisen that causes them to be abandoned, like the energy of initiative, persistent, and firm determination. When you are energetic, sleepiness and dullness do not arise, or if they've already arisen, they're removed completely. Well, like we commented before, energy, initiative, and firm determination will bring energy to the mind. So how can we gather energy? With interest. We have to remember, and we can see here that the 7 enlightenment factors are present in this indication. When we recover our mindfulness, that is the first enlightenment factor. We recover that mindfulness, and this gives us interest in what we are doing, in the object of meditation, in a mindset that gives us stability and happiness. These interests bring us energy. So we have to have initiative. So I recover my mindful, I have interest, I have the initiative, and this bring me energy. This bring me persistence and a firm determination. Because when we feel energetic, joy, pity will arise in our mind. Eventually, they will bring tranquility and collectedness, and finally, equanimity. So, to these five hindrances, we always have the seven enlightenment factor as a counterpart. And if we, as we can see, the Buddha never give an instruction to push hard ourselves or try to control what we are feeling. The Buddha just give us the instruction to understand the conditions of our state of mind. That is the reason that we have to be very patient, very gentle with ourselves and with others, of course, and be persistent in these attitudes. The next one, monks, I do not see in a single thing that prevent restlessness and remorse from arising like a settled mind. Also, I do not see a single thing when restlessness and remorse have an arisen that causes them to be abandoned like a settled mind. When your mind is settled, restlessness and remorse do not arise, or if they've already arisen, the remorse they remove completely. So, what is a settled mind? A mind that follows the precept, a mind that doesn't has remorse because is harmonic with their own deeds and sayings. This is very important because in our training, the foundations are the precept, and these bring us to the possibility to be generous with ourselves and with the others. And when we talk about generosity, we're talking about to be a really open-minded. And what is the meaning of really open-minded? Just be aware of letting go many of our opinions. The clinging to our views or to our opinion is most of the time the source of suffering. But when we are generous, we are somehow give us the opportunity to relook in our opinions and see that maybe our clinging to our opinions is a source for the suffering. Let me give you an example. Sometimes when we have a conversation with another person, maybe we feel that we are right, and maybe we are right, but have the reason is not a condition to be happy. Many times we have reasons, we have the right reasons, but we don't feel happy. Why is that? Because there is a divorce between our mind and our feeling. That is said, is a divorce between our manas, or the mind that is calculating or make plans, and chitta, the mind that is how we are feeling now. This divorce bring this kind of conflict, and this bring a lot of restlessness. So we have to work or train ourselves to have harmony between these two aspects of the mind, between the manas and the chitta. If we have to choose one, we have to choose chitta, because when our mind is on loving kindness, for example, our thoughts are have as a source this the loving kindness, and then we don't feel this kind of restlessness or remorse. Yeah, well, the last one is, monk, I do not see a single thing that prevents doubt from arising like wise attention. Also, I do not see a single thing when doubt has arisen that causes it to be abandoned, like wise attention. When you attend wisely, doubt do not arise, or if it is already arising, it removes completely. Well, here is wise attention, or yoniso manasikara. It's really important to be aware of where we put our attention. Delson Armstrong said in one of his talk that the attention is the best gift that we can give to other people or to ourselves. So when we develop wise attention, we are put our energy in something that is really skillful and will bring us a lot of benefits. So what is wise attention? If our mind is on loving kindness, compassion, or mudita, or equanimity, we are paying attention in a very wise form. This is regarding a little that I said a few minutes ago about to be generous and to be open regarding our opinions. When we feel stable with our object of meditation, when we feel that our mind is connected or make contact with these Brahma Viharas, there is no possibility that doubt arises in the mind. When I want to be clear about this, because the doubt could arise if one loses the wise attention, loses the mindfulness. But through the 6 R's, we can recover that wise attention and return to our object of meditation. And generally, if we don't overthinking about anything, our planning or what I want to go after the meditation, or how I want to control the meditation, the doubt will not have the conditions to arise. So many times doubt arises because we have an objective, an aim to gain during our meditation. And this is a problem when we start to be obsessed with it. Of course, we maybe all wanted to experience Nibbana. Some other people maybe want to feel tranquil. All people have an aim in their practice, but we don't have to overthinking about it. We just one, if we are aware of our aims or our plan, that's okay. Then we have to practice. We just stay with the object of the meditation, and when some hindrances arises, I apply the 6 R's, and I let that the process of meditation will be develop by itself. I don't need to control anything. The process of meditation is really a process that educate our mind to see things as they really are. Well, I think that this talk covers the basic things about the hindrances and how to deal with the hindrances. So I I want to share with you a lot of metta. Thank for watching. Bye bye.